Good evening from Israel, good afternoon or good morning, depends where you are around the world. My name is Tzvika Klein, I'm a journalist, Israeli journalist from Makor Rishon newspaper. We're here live from Avnei Derech Studios here in Tel Aviv to discuss the current situation of real estate for overseas clients, the first of its kind conference here in Israel. We're going to discuss with the top experts on this matter about the subject for all you viewers on Facebook and online and on Jerusalem Post website to learn more about purchasing here in Israel. So we'll start with introducing our panel. Here we have Menachem Levinsky, Head of Mortgages and Foreign Residents at Bank Mizrahi Tefachot. Good evening.
Good evening.
And next to me we have Niva Keston of the Niva Keston law firm specializing in real estate law with a focus on foreign clients. Good evening. And then we have my friend, Shia Browner, Avnei Derech representative, and he's going to give us an overview about what's going on in the market here in Israel. So Menachem, give us a little bit of an insight. You know, the mortgages is something that's very kind of, people see it as very frightening, definitely if they don't live in the country. And I know there's specific regulations, and maybe that's why people are nervous. What are the Bank of Israel regulations regarding purchasing apartments in Israel with a mortgage?
I would like to speak about two roots of what I'm going to say. One of them is the regulation of Bank of Israel. Maybe before that, I would like to say, like we give mortgages to people who live in Israel, we are giving, or all banks in Israel can give mortgages, finance to people who live abroad.
Okay, so Niva, so we spoke to Menachem and we heard about this, and you know, he makes it sound very easy, but it's not as easy. And he mentioned there aren't many lawyers that actually know how to do this.
Yeah, so I'm a lawyer that I deal with property law in Israel. I basically deal with foreigners, and I do this over 13 years. And the first thing that when a client calls me up and tells me he wants to purchase, I say, okay, forget right now the contract. Do you have a bank account in Israel? Just like Menachem said, that is the crucial question. The second question I would ask him is, how are you going to finance it? Are you taking a mortgage, or are you buying this with your capital? And the third question I would ask is, what do you want to do with this property? Are you planning to live in it? Are you planning to make aliyah or become a resident of Israel? And that's when I start speaking to them about the tax planning.
So tell me a little bit about Avnei Derech. So it's a company that's more known here in Israel and not as known overseas.
So in 2009, Yair Cohen decides to build this company. He had a vision to build affordable housing for the Israeli market, as well as excellent opportunities for investments. And he actually did it. By the end of 2020, 1,500 apartments are going to be built across the country by Avnei Derech. From the north, we have Tveria, Yokneam in the north, all the way in the center we have Tel Aviv, Ramat Gan, Beit Shemesh coming up soon, and down south we have Be'er Sheva, and many other communities around Israel. We are covering all over the country and different price ranges. We've got the minimum price of $300,000. As we heard here, you need only $150,000 down payment in order to get a...
That's if you're not making aliyah, by the way, right? If you make aliyah, then you could get 75%.
Definitely.
Okay.
But if you don't, if the minimum would be $150,000.
And where is that? In
Tveria,
okay.
For instance, and other locations. Also in Be'er Sheva, you could get for a little more than $300,000. In Tel Aviv, it could go up to 5 million shekels. So it really ranges. For every pocket, there's a solution. So my message is basically, first of all, buy where you could afford.
Okay. So thank you very much, Menachem and Niva, Shia. It was interesting, and we learned a lot. And thank you to our viewers on Facebook and on the Jerusalem Post website. Thank you for everybody else from the Avnei Derech staff who produced this amazing hour. Thank you very much, and have a good evening.